Hello, my name is April Laughlin, and I am the counselor for Catella High School class of 2025, current freshmen going into their sophomore year. Today we're going to be reviewing the course selection process for the 10th grade year for 2022-2023. In order to successfully complete this process, students need to have full access to Aries. That means using a computer because you will not be able to access the full site from the phone app. This process cannot be completed on a phone. It must be completed on a computer. Students are going to have access to our EPUB course selection guide, which I'll be discussing more throughout this presentation, as well as providing direction to where you can find it. You're going to need the 10th grade course selection sheet, which is the blue course selection card that students should have in front of them. And you're going to need a good attitude. Today we're going to be reviewing the physical education course offerings, the world history course offerings, English offerings, math offerings, our chemistry offerings, as well as a student choice of elective. In front of you, you should have your blue course selection card. Make sure it has your name on it. You're going to see some courses that you need to graduate that you might not have completed successfully at the beginning of your freshman year, and some courses that you might not have completed successfully for A through G eligibility. If those boxes are empty, it means everything's fine and you're on track. Please do not lose this blue course selection card. You're going to need it for this process. You're also going to need to return it to me on February 8th in your English class. Please note that this card cannot be replaced, so it's your responsibility to keep it somewhere safe. Today we're going to start off by reviewing our graduation requirements, the AUHSD pledge, as well as our A through G requirements. Our graduation requirements for our district include 3 years of social science. We also call that history, 4 years of English, 3 years of math through Math 3, science, 2 years through the junior year, which really is taking a class in your freshman, sophomore, and junior year, although 2 years are required to graduate. 1 year of a fine art, which can be accomplished through world language or visual performing art. Minimum of 1 year of a CTE or career technical education course, although 2 years are recommended to complete the pathway. 2 years of physical education, and 1 semester of health. Our district has made a pledge to each and every one of our students to create viable educational and career pathway options for them after graduation. We have done this by partnering with our local community colleges, as well as our local 4-year CSU and UC colleges. Students have many doors that will be open for them that will lead them to a bright future and a meaningful career. This is one of the many reasons that we encourage our students to move beyond our graduation requirements and to focus instead on completing the A through G requirements. When I compare those two requirements with our graduation versus A through G, you'll see they're very similar. Actually, we require 1 more year of social science for graduation, while A through G only requires 2. The English requirement, math requirement are the same. The science requirements are the same as well, although they do recommend 3 years. Here's where the requirements differ a little bit. We require 1 year of a fine art, while they're more specific in A through G. 2 years of a world language and 1 year of a visual and performing art. They also have a requirement of 1 year of a college prep elective, even though we recommend 2 years for students to complete their pathway. So how do we ensure that we graduate and meet A through G here at Catella High School? Well, number 1, we pick the right courses, which is the point of today. We're going to go over what those requirements are, and I'm going to help you through that process. Number 2, we pass all of our classes. We don't get any Fs, and we certainly don't get any Ds or Fs if we're going through A through G. Graduation requires that you pass everything with a D- or higher. A through G requirement requires that you pass everything with a C- or higher. So here's what a sample schedule looks like for a 10th grader. There are 6 periods in a traditional school day. One of those periods will be a physical education course. Another one will be a world history, English, math, chemistry, and some course of your choice, whether that be world language, CTE, visual performing art, dual enrollment. You'll see all of those options. We do have some creative ways for kids to have a flexible schedule and to meet some additional pathway and educational goals. That can be met through a 0 or 7th period online option or a 0 period here on our campus. We also have some courses that are offered through our community colleges through our dual enrollment program. So there is some room to take additional classes or to have some flexibility in your schedule. Not everyone will go 1st period through 6th period. Some students will go 0 period to 5th period. Some students will have an online class after school, and some students will have a morning community college class through dual enrollment. It's really all up to you. You'll find all of these options outlined, described in great detail in our e-publication course selection guide. Please note you will not be able to do this process without reviewing the course selection guide. This is an online guide that is a full, comprehensive description of every course offered here at Catella High School. You're going to need to use it to select the classes. It's located on our counseling tab of our website. We also will be emailing it out to all students and parents multiple times throughout this process. Here's just a snippet of what it looks like on the inside. It's very user-friendly. You click on tabs. It opens up videos. You'll find some QR codes. It is designed with the student in mind. There's also tutorial videos on how to complete this course selection process in Aries, as well as you'll have access to this presentation. So what does that course selection process actually look like? Well, first of all, make sure you've got your card in front of you. You're going to see that it has some steps outlined, step 1, step 2, and step 3. And I'm going to go over those with you right now. First of all, every student needs to select a physical education course. All 10th graders take one of those courses, and it can be met either through PE2, which is also offered during 0 period. Note the 7:30 time up there. Also, we have a PE2 dance available to all students, no previous dance experience required. We have a 0 period marching band class for our students that participate in our band program. That's a partner class to your band class during the day that provides your PE credit. If you're an athlete here or you participate in song and cheer, you can note that on your card. But only students that are currently participating in a sport can mark that on their card. If you decide to go out for a sport your sophomore year, even though you didn't do it your freshman year, go ahead and put PE down for now, and once you make the team, we'll go ahead and add you to that sport. When you hear me refer to 0 period options throughout this presentation, like you just did for PE, you'll be able to find all of those options listed in our course selection guide. And you'll notice, like PE10 here, if you want to take it 0 period, it has its own specific course code. So you want to make sure that you use that course code if you're interested in the 0 period course versus the regular traditional day course. So when you go to select PE, you're going to see it right here under step 1. You just put an X next to which PE class you want. There's an additional step if you want one of our 0 periods. You're going to put an X in the box, and you're going to mark down here under step 3 that you want to take a 0 period course. And that's all you've got to do for your PE selection. Right here, this is where you'll mark down your sport if you're currently an athlete at Catella High School. Again, you are welcome to go out for a sport as a sophomore that you did not play as a freshman, but for now you would mark PE, and once you make the team, we would move you over into athletics. The next thing that you're going to do is choose your history class. There are 5 different options for our students to take history, we'll have our World History traditional class. We have a World History Honors class for students that want to go a little bit deeper into history and move a little bit faster. This is for a really serious student who is focused on being challenged. That same honors history course is offered in an online version. We also have AP World History, which is advanced placement, which is even more rigorous than an honors course, and it's treated more like a college course with some college credit offered when you pass the exam at the end of the year. We even have a dual enrollment community college course offered this year, which will be taught during 0 and first period 2 days a week, and that's our dual enrollment History 113 World Civilizations course. So you have 5 different options for how you're going to meet your world history requirement. Please note that some of these courses require some additional paperwork, which I'm going to explain now. In the course selection guide, you're going to see a description if you're like, what's AP, what's honors? There's some really comprehensive videos provided by the instructors for those courses in the course selection guide. Make sure you read the description, watch the videos as you're making these choices. Should you choose to take an AP course, make sure that you complete the FCR. You'll see this little QR code right next to any advanced placement course in the EPUB. You open it up and you'll fill it out, demonstrating your commitment and understanding of what an advanced placement course is. Again, you'll see it next to the course. You take out your phone, you open the QR code, it'll populate a form. You answer the questions, submit the form, and that will secure your spot to be considered for an advanced placement course. Additionally, if you choose one of our e-learning classes, you will have to fill out an e-learning form. Again, it's a QR code. You'll see it throughout the EPUB guide, and that form will put you in consideration for an e-learning course. Keep in mind that although we have many e-learning courses, there are a limited number of spots for students. So it's really important that you fill out that application and that you get it in on time. You're also going to make sure that you use the proper course code to indicate that you want to take an e-learning course. For 10th graders in the history section, remember, it's an honors world history course that is offered online. So, on your blue card, once you decide which world history class you want, you're going to indicate it with an X on your card. And then if you're choosing an online version, you're going to indicate it here. If you're choosing to take our community college course, you're going to indicate it here. Then we get to the English section. We have 5 English classes. We have a regular college prep English, English 2 honors, English 2 honors e-learning or online. We have Get Real, which is part of our Film Academy. We have a handful of students that are currently in that class, but please keep in mind it's open to new 10th graders as well. There's a great description in our EPUB guide if you want to learn more about that program. And we have our Puente English, but only students that are currently in Puente may select that course. English descriptions are found on page 31 through 34 of the EPUB guide with full video descriptions of what our digital arts English class looks like. You'll see what our Puente program looks like as well as our honors program, and you will see the link here to fill out the online paperwork should you choose an e-learning honors English class. Once you select your English class, you're going to mark it here on the card with an X. If I decide to do the online course, I'm also going to indicate down here that I'm interested in taking an online course. Next, you get to math. There are 2 choices for math. You'll see that we have a Math 2 and a Math 2-3 honors course. Speaking to your current math teacher is going to really help you make that choice. Also, you'll see the differences between the two classes described in our EPUB guide. Once you select your math course, you're going to indicate it right here by selecting one of the two options. There are no zero period or online options right now, so you don't have to mark anything down here. Then we get to the physical science section. All 10th graders will take a chemistry course. We have offered our chemistry course in zero period as well. Please note that this is not on your course selection card. I need you to write it down on your card if you're interested. So you're going to write down this course code, SC9281, on your blue card under physical science if you are interested. The description for our science classes can be found inside of the EPUB guide on page 36. Make sure you're looking at the physical, not at the life science. That was your 9th grade course. Right here under D is where you're going to mark which course you want to take, and if you want to take the zero period honors chemistry course, make sure you write it down. This is not on your card. You need to write it in, and then you need to check the box right here that you are interested in the zero period. After you've completed step 1, physical education, history, English, math, and science, you're going to move to step 2. This is where you indicate which of your additional course you would like to take. That can be a fine arts or VAPA course, a CTE course, or a world language course. All sophomores are required to have 5 classes, but your 6th class is your choice. A 7th class could be available to you if you take a zero period or an e-learning course, and this is the way that you will meet your fine art, CTE, or world language requirement through this class. In the EPUB guide, you will find descriptions for all of these classes, and there are many, by going to the Career Tech Education tab, World Language tab, the Fine Arts or VAPA tab, and the Additional Options Elective tab. Under Step 3, you will indicate your first 3 choices. You must include 3 choices, so we have options for you. Should your first choice be filled, we would go to your second choice. If the second choice is filled, we would go to your third choice. This will also help us if you're looking to take an additional elective class. So if you take a zero period and you want more than 2 electives, we would have your options highlighted here. This is where you're going to need to write down the name of the course and the course code. There are no check boxes here. This is where you will write it in your best penmanship so we can read it, and you will write in 3 different boxes. Then you're going to enter those course requests into Aries. So once you've completed your blue card and everything is written down, you are going to go into Aries and you're going to enter your courses. On your EPUB guide, there is a 7-minute tutorial on how to do it. It is a very self-explanatory. You're going to watch that video and you're going to enter it into Aries on the web. Again, you cannot do this on your phone. You're going to go into Aries on the web. You're going to choose classes. Then you're going to choose course entry. Then you're going to select the subject area, for example, English. Then you're going to pick your English class. You're going to see it populate, and then you're just going to go down the list. You're going to do PE, history, English, math, science, and electives. You should have no problem with this, but if you have questions, we, the counselors, are going to be available at lunchtime helping students enter their course requests. So again, you're going to be picking your classes for fall only. You won't even see the spring classes actually. We've taken them off the list. And you just click one at a time and add them in Aries. You'll see it populate over in the box. You'll see the course code You'll select it as your primary request. Unless it's your second choice, then you'll do it as an alternate, but most of your classes will be a primary request. Second choices, you'll select alternate. If you have questions about how to do it, please watch the video first. It is the best explanation on how to complete the ARIES entry of your course selection. So, what are our next steps? You need to review the EPUB and have chosen your classes by February 8th, when I will be returning back to your English classes. If you have questions during lunch, counselors are going to be available in room 367 for your questions and for technical support. When I come back into your classes on February 8th, and some classes I'll be in there on the 10th, it just kind of depends on who your English teacher is, we will meet with you and review your selections. They must be in ARIES by that day because that's how I'm going to be looking at them. At that point, I'll be collecting your course request card as well. So you have plenty of time between now and February 8th to get your questions answered. Make sure that you come at lunchtime and get some support if you need it. Your English teachers will also be able to help you with this process. If you are taking an e-learning class or an AP class, make sure you fill out the FCR or the e-learning request form. That has to be done by February 18th. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us at lunch. You can also email me if you are unable to get your questions answered at lunch. Thank you so much, and I hope that you found this useful.